All right, Pro Tabletop fans, this is Thomas here with another Ultramarine battle report. It's been a while, but I finally dusted off the boys in blue. They were getting a little dusty. 2, 3, 4 weeks since I got to play them last, so super excited. I'm trying out some new units, so they're not quite fully painted. We've got the new heavy Eradicator models, and we've got some conversions, Tyrannic Veterans, so you'll see some non-painted models. Those are them. I'm going to be playing against Damien, also a special treat, a Pro Tabletop. He was one of the original guys, so he's one of our team. He moved out to Utah, and we're here in Atlanta, so we haven't had him in person in quite a while. He flew down for a little invitational, so we had him here, and we got to get your Admech army on our battle reports on the channel, and so that's what we're gonna do. So let's take a quick look at my new and improved, or slightly less, marginally, optimized Ultramarine list. I'm testing it out. There's some holes in it, but I like it. I'm going to show you. So it's mainly the same core. So of course you got to have Guilliman. He's just so good. He's just does so much. He's the warlord. We're running 2 patrols instead of a battalion. So we're putting in more killie, taking out some troops to try to do that. It costs us some command points, but we still got some things. So we got Chaplain, or Tigurius. He's running Nullzone, Might of Heroes, and Psychic Fortress. Nullzone is kind of tricky the way it turns off everyone's invul, but with some of the other armies that are coming to prominence, you might want to have that invulnerable save option. 1 unit of Infiltrators with the helix as the troops. You got the super Apothecary. He's going to have a relic, the Vox, that's going to give him +3 to his 6-up Feel No Pain aura. Here's a new 5-man Tyrannic Veterans squad. We got a unit of lascannon Devastators and a unit of grav cannon Devastators. And I had a couple extra points. I gave the Sarge there a stormbolter. The other patrol is led by Chaplain on bike. I tried a Libby with a jump pack. Fantastic, but not really. He dies too easy, and he was always out of position because he's trying to cast powers.
That's his fault, not Bert's.
That's right. My fault, actually. So, and he missed the Litanies. So the Litanies are really good. So the decision point with him is, do you really want to give him the Wise Orator Warlord trait to let him roll his Litanies on 2s? Or do you want to give him some other Warlord traits? So in this instance, since I have less troops, I'm giving him the aura, Rights of War, the Warlord trait. That gives him an aura of OPSEC. So anyone within 6 inches is OPSEC. So that's what I'm going to try today. So his Litanies, we got the base Litany of Hate, that's to reroll in combat. His 2 that he chose, because he's a super chaplain, is Fire and Focus, so +1 to hit and +1 to wound and shooting. In the troop slot, I got a 10-man Intercessor squad with Assault. This is auto bolt rifles, so the Assault 3 shotguns. This is 2 grenade launchers, and the Sergeant's got a Thunderhammer. Elites, I got 2 units of Victrix Guard. These guys are money. And on the heavies, Tuber Death, I got a 5-man unit of Assault Intercessors and a 4-man unit with the heavy melta Eradicator gun. So you got 1 multi-melta and 3 heavy meltas. So we'll see how well they could do. They're short range, they're heavies, but you're Ultramarine, so you don't usually care about moving. So that's the Ultramarine force. Let's stop.
Okay, guys. So this is Damien here. You guys really haven't heard from very much on the channel as of late. I did move out west, and so I'm here today, though, to bring about the wrath of the Adeptus Mechanicus on the internets. They want to talk about all kinds of things, and I have a little bit of different mentality in some regards to the way Admech's been played. I've been playing Admech a long time, and not that makes me an expert, but I have tried quite a few different ways of playing, and overall, I have found them to be, this is probably the best build that I have found as far as list design so far. So, and leave your comments below. If you find something better or you have a better way to do Admech, I am all ears. Okay, so what we have here is, this is the Data Horde. It's a custom Forge World from the Engine War book. And basically what it lets us do is, the primary allows my vehicles, which are these 2 guys right here, to have a 6-up Feel No Pain. And, well, it's not, or whatever, you know what I mean. Feel No Pain is not really supposed to be a word anymore, I guess. But then we have Transnode Power Core is the secondary that I've chosen for it, which lets all these arc weaponry explode. They have arc claws and they have arc rifles as well. So
explode on 5s and 6s.
And they explode on 5s and 6s. Yeah. So that's what I meant when I say explode. So yeah, and what I have here is there are my troops choice. It's just one battalion. We got a squad of 10, a squad of 9, and another squad of 10.
They're all arc rifles.
And these are all arc rifles, and they're all arc claws. So on 5s and 6s in combat, they explode, and on 5s and 6s, they will generate additional hits, and that's what we mean by exploding. It will generate an additional hit without having to roll for it. It's pretty interesting. Then we have the Warlord, which is the Dominuska. He is he has Learnings of the Genitor, which is one of the Engine War Warlord traits, and you get to, it's from the Divinations of the Magos. So you basically just get to pick one of the 3 different types. One of them is that you can't fall if you're fearless, basically, for anything within 6, any units within 6 of him. And then the other one allows my close combat weapons for models within 6 of him to have, or units within 6 of him to have an additional -2. Never really used any of that before, so the only thing I ever use is the third one, which is the most important, which gives my breachers a 5-up feel no pain for models within 6 inches of him. Then I pay an additional CP, and I give this guy a Warlord trait as well, which he has the Prime Hermeticon. So that lets all of my infantry reroll hits in combat. So pretty sweet when you're hitting on 4s with all the breachers, and then you reroll and 5s and 6s explode. It just generates a tremendous amount of attacks. This is my custom Daedalosus that I made because I did not want to pay $50 for a model that I could make, literally, because I had all the parts. So then I have 2 dog squads, and this is where it gets a little bit, people have different schools of thought. I believe that a 9-man squad is excellent. Lots of people like to run them in smaller squads, which I can totally understand because you'd separate them out 5 inches apart. And you don't get affected by, you can take the models and spread them out. Coherency is not as big of a deal. With 9, you have to keep, as the normal coherency rules apply. So yeah, I have 2 squads of 9 of those guys. Those are Cerberus Raiders. They'll allow you to snipe at characters. They can do Tactica Obliqua, where they fall back. If you on the first charge that you do on them for 2 CP, it's very powerful. It allows kind of my midboard to be kind of contained and keep them corralled into their deployment zone. They can also do a pregame move, which is pretty interesting. Gets you 12 inches of the board. Then I got a 15-man squad of Corpusari Electro Priests. So these guys are shooty Electro Priests. For 1 CP, they can have -2 to their guns. And then I have 2 bombers. I love these things. Those guys do seismic bombs. That lets you half movement, half advance, half charge. So when I fly over this 10-man unit of intercessors right here, I get to roll 10 dice because he's got too many models in that unit. It's fantastic. I love big units. And then this one right here has chaff launchers on them. That's what that little nub on the top was. And then this one over here has the command uplink. That'll let him shut off auras. The chaff launcher just basically reduces the damage down by 1 if he gets shot at. Combat, it does nothing. So that's basically it. This is my list. I have played it a lot. And I did terrible at the tournament yesterday, but that's the way it goes sometimes. But I really enjoy it. I think it's very powerful. It has a lot of board control. All of the breachers are OBSEC because these are my troops. So it makes a very hard mid-game for people to pull you off objectives, which, they might die, but by that time, hopefully you've won the game. All right, so we'll shut it off and we'll come back to us hopefully playing each other. There's Bird right there on my film, and bam!
All right, guys, we're here with the terrain setup. If you're not familiar with our channel, we are big fans of the Warzone Atlanta crew player place terrain. So if you're not familiar with that, they have some great terrain. They had it custom designed for 9th edition. I'm part of the team that helped do some play testing there. Very specific intent there. Go to the website, warzoneatlanta.com. Under the terrain section, you can take a look at all the different pieces. Tectonic Studios offers those pieces for sale. Some great pieces there. Go take a look. Fix that for me. But one of the great things about player place terrain is not fixed, and it makes every matchup, even the same game, but possibly quite different. based on how you put the terrain. So this is our attempt at being super competitive, mostly Damien, because he wants to shoot. So if you look at this board, we're playing priority target. So you're basically having the diagonal, the type Vanguard type deployments.
From the center.
Yeah, and you kind of like wire these pieces on the edge, not protecting anything. You can guess who put that out. The Admech guy who wants to shoot you to bits. So, you know, as a player who doesn't want to get shot, but also wants to shoot, I need to create some sight lines that I can manipulate against him, right? So my 4 pieces are on the objectives and kind of blocking up the center. This is a 5 objective mission, so we have not picked secondaries yet, but you always kind of want to keep, as a Space Marine player, that center objective open for Oath of Moment or for domination. This particular secondary for the mission is priority target, so you're going to pick one of your secondaries. You're going to get to move these objectives, so we have a little bit more opportunity to kind of put some of these objectives in a better space. So it's interesting. So this is it. We both agree that we've countered each other, and it's terrible for both of us. We like out smacked each other, like, this is terrible. I'm gonna make it worse for you too. And so now we're like, which side do we want? Nobody knows. So we're both like, I don't know if I want to win this roll, because then I have to pick, right? So here's the roll for picking the sides.
Oh, when it matters.
I rolled a 1. He rolled a 6. So he gets to choose which crappy side does he want. Well, what's it gonna be, David?
I'm gonna take this crappy side.
He's taking that crappy side.
I think so.
So if you look at these pieces of terrain, we have forest here, a small forest, crater, more crater, barricade. So everything that can slow him down from moving, everything that minuses him to shoot through. And then I got a little tiny room to have my whole army behind, but I've tried to like create some sight lines where he can't quite see easily with his whole army. All right, so we'll come back after the setup. Thanks a lot, Damien. And we'll come back with our secondaries and let you know what it is when we start turn 1. All right, we're deep in the pro tabletop grudge match. The smack talking is real. We spent a lot of time agonizing over where to position the objectives.
I don't think I've ever seen people have to move the objectives so hard and so thoughtful for this mission ever.
Yeah, so I don't know. You necessarily see this mission a lot. It kind of messed with a lot of deployments. So people for tournaments don't usually use this mission. But moving objectives, especially the way we were so intentful with our player place terrain, has changed it quite a bit. So as the attacker, I lost the roll, so I get to move the first piece of terrain. So yay for me. I picked this objective. Again, it was right about here. I moved it back 6. The intent was kind of to position it on this side of the crate so that if he positioned too far forward on his push to shoot at me on that side, he won't be able to see down this angle. So he'll really have to kind of keep guys tight. So in his response, he took his objective that was here and slid it back so that he has to be forced to sit here. So he has sight lines all the way down against me. So what a jerk. His second defender gets to move 2. So he used his second move to pull that objective that was here and pull it back just to kind of force me to stay away from the ruins a little bit to try to force angles to shoot. I still have a pretty good box here, and the angle's pretty tight. I still got a pretty good hiding hole, so good for me. And that left the last position. Obviously, we can't move the center, but the last position was here. It was roughly right here by the forest. I pulled it back so that it overlaps this wall so I can get some cover if I manage to go there. And I also kind of pulled it away from his area here. Again, the deployment zone starts from his corner here to the middle. So he's, these ruins in this box is kind of in his deployment zone. So he could put guys here. But he was nice enough to put them like at 3 inches. These guys are big. He can't really hide.
I'll put that back there.
He put some breachers back here, but it's not the best place for those guys. So they're going to be all over the place.
Up and over is not great. So
that's the terrain. So he won the roll. So we got to do our secondaries. We'll come back, and then we'll see after his deployment. Yeah. All right, guys, we're here before first turn roll. We've set up deployment zones. So again, we're playing the diagonal deployment. You can kind of see the dice. I've picked up one here right in the center. But basically, this big triangle corner, and you see where Damien's been setting up. We alternated. He's got his breachers kind of barreling down this right flank. He's got his characters stacked in there. He's got a couple guys up on top just to squeeze them all in. 3 units, that's a lot of real estate. You can see he's got his characters tucked in so they get as many guys as possible to get Feel No Pain. Got 2 big units of dogs, one hiding like little chickens. I don't know why. And one just out in the open. So it's kind of like, why hide the other one if you're going to put the other one out in the open? On my side, what minimal terrain I could, really trying to measure every angle. Like if you was the move, what's that angle? Can I hide? This guy's tucked in as tight as you can be. These guys are really pressing the range just in case he deployed guys down this way. He didn't. So 36 inches is going to be tight. He might be able to shoot them, depending on a few, but not the whole body. Everyone else is tucked in here. Oh, it's tight. There's a lot of blue guys in the lee of that building. Roboute's abusing Victrix Guard like he always does. And out front, surveying the battlefield. We got a couple units hiding back here on this objective. Not too many. Just kind of a token force. Only going to come out when necessary. If it's warranted, if it's safe. It's not safe over there. There's a lot of dudes there. So we don't know who wants to go first. I think I always want to go first against his list. But if he moves forward, that's better for me as well. So I can go either way. I think he's equally passive about whether he's ready to go first or second. All right, so here's the roll. Strong. That's the first turn for the Admech. All right, so they're going to go first.
Are you going to redeploy, Bird?
I'm not going to redeploy. I don't think I need to.
Okay.
I would if I had gotten first. Taking a quick look at our secondaries. We'll pop those on the screen. But priority target, that's the mission secondary. We both got those.
Some interesting secondaries.
While we stand, we both picked those. So Ultramarine while we stand. Let's go to the camera here. While we stand, I have the 4-man unit of Eradicators. I have Guilliman himself. Of course, he's the most expensive. And the 10-man Intercessors. Those are my 3 while we stands. On the Admech side, it's very easy. 3 unit of Breachers. You got to kill them. They'll kill you. You got to kill them. Easy peasy. So while we stand, the last ones we both agonize as typical. The third secondary is always tough. And you're like, well, you're Marines. You got extra ones. You're like, why didn't you choose Oath? Well, while we stand competes with Oath. And tell me you want to walk in the center of that. No, sir. At least not till I'm ready. I ain't got guys to just throw away, all right? So not Oath. So that took while we stand. So that left me like, do I pick a Marine secondary to go to the bank, which there's not a lot of good choices in the bank. I do not like engage, especially as open as this terrain is. I don't want to send guys over here. Don't want to.
You don't want to take grind because
it's guaranteed on killing these guys.
It's not guaranteed.
He can really obliterate a lot of units in one turn. Going first or second on grind really dictates that. It's really hard if you go first, unless you're just killing everything. Right. So grind was out, and
even then you can kill stuff too fast.
And then there's not nothing left to get.
There's not enough left, so you can't kill.
Yeah.
Because if you just table them, all those grind points go away.
Yeah. So what I ended up choosing was Codex Warfare. Very often not chosen. It's very difficult. My army has a lot of tools to kind of succeed in that realm. I have a lot of heavy weapons. I have a lot of assault weapons. I have a lot of fighty killy. So I'm good in all the realms. Of course, Guilliman, he said, I wrote the Codex. Use my powers, right? So Codex Warfare, we'll see if it works. The way that one works is in the Devastator Doctrine, I have to kill units with heavy weapons. I can get up to 5 kills. So I have to kill a whole unit. Same thing in the Tactical Doctrine, assault and rapid fire weapons. Up to 5 units for 5 points. And then in the Assault Doctrine, killing with melee or pistols, up to 5 units. So tricky, very difficult. Certainly, it's a third secondary. You're not trying to get max points on that. You're going to be lucky if you get 5 or 6. If you get more than that, I feel like that's a bonus against Damien's list. So what was yours? This is more interesting, I think, than mine.
I don't know. Yours is super interesting. I picked... I don't remember what the name of it is.
Investigate sites. Yes. Tell me what that is, because no one even knows. No one has picked that ever. Or if they have, they regretted it right away.
So this always.
He's giving me the game. He doesn't even know it.
I was thinking a lot about it, and right away, if Bird doesn't come out and stop me, basically what happens is I have to just be within 6 of the center of the table. I just have to have a unit, and then they perform an action. And I figured I wasn't going to be able to shoot with all of my breachers on turn 1 because he's going to do this kind of stuff. So my targets are very, very limited. So if I just have a breacher come out and get within the center, and it's at the end of my turn I score it. So that's the important part, right? Like, so if he comes out and meet me, it still gives me a chance during my turn to pull those off and still get those. And you get 4 points at the end each turn. So it's basically I just have to be within 6, perform the action, and then if he's not within 6, then I get 4 points at the end of my turn.
It's 4 points?
Yeah.
I don't believe it.
I thought it was 4 points.
I think it's 3.
Oh, is it 3? Might as well.
Investigate sites. Oh, it's right here. Score 3 points.
3.
But infantry units, not characters. So you can't do it with dogs. He's got to do it with breachers. So he can't make it on the first turn because he can't run and get there and still do an action.
You're within 6 off the line in the center. I measured it. I'm within 12 inches. So if I move 7 or even 6, I'm still within.
Yeah, because you just have to have your toe in.
Just toe in, just with him. So I can get it on the first turn. And since you didn't put anything out there.
I didn't put that infiltrator unit. I thought about putting him right here on this building.
You wanted to reposition. You said no.
I can't put him there on the first turn, so.
Why?
I can't reposition up.
Oh.
They have to start there.
Okay. Excellent. Even better.
So he can get 3 points.
All right.
But if he puts him there, he's there. So.
I'm there. And the way we got this going is I just kind of shoved everything up the board, got pretty much most of my things within the range of my my Feel No Pains. So I have a lot of Feel No Pains there that he'd have to chew through, which is good for me. Dogs kind of crammed up because I couldn't quite reach the objective to get to the center, but I did get that guy in the center of the objective, which is cool. Within the center of the table. So dogs are holding that objective. I push those dogs up to grab that objective. 24 inches is a long way. Even if you hide them way in the back and then they move and then move again, it's a really long ways. And they advance. They hit a 6 on that advance too, but I didn't take the full. My shooting phase, as I thought, was going to be pretty underwhelming. I didn't have a lot of options. Bird doesn't give it to you easily. And so I had 3 guys that could shoot into these devs with grav. They didn't really do anything. And then some dogs shot into him too. And yeah, I didn't get any mortal wounds on the rolls, so it just kind of flopped. I did have a pretty successful bomb run over his intercessors. We picked up 4 and a half. 4. And then planes actually were very accurate. I think out of the 24 shots, I missed like
3 or 4.
3, maybe 4 on 3-ups. And then I had a ton of wounds. He had 12 wounds to make, and he averaged, right? He did what averagely did. And so we picked up 2.5 of those, which that's actually a big deal because he can't bring that back. And so it's just a lascannon down, which every bullet matters. Literally every bullet matters for both of us going into each other because like his army, even though it's just Space Marines sitting around, it's so tanky. Like it's way tanky just because of you can't shoot at characters with snipes. Like that's the thing that's interesting about his army is normally with my dogs, like my dogs would normally be in all other games, like here, literally, especially if I go first, they're like in your lines and I pick on characters and like you can't stop me from doing it. But because Ultramarines, they got these lovely little Victrix Guard right there, as you all know and love. They protect all those characters. So I kind of have to play with my dogs a little bit differently. And so I have 1 dog unit that is exposed, but I just kind of wanted to hold that objective so I could hold more. So it makes him he has to kind of mess with those dogs, which I don't know. It's like, and they're not easy to kill. Like you kind of have to dedicate more fire than you'd think to like wipe out a squad of dogs. And these ones are hidden really well, so they should be alive next turn. And I tried to just kind of this is basically the main unit that he can really shoot at. And I seismic bombed, which means that I half advance, half move. I chose the Hellblasters because he's like really far away, so they can only move 3 inches. And because I parked these planes here, he can't really come on this side, so it kind of negates their shooting for this turn, which they're a big deal because it's 3 shots and it's 2 damage. It can be pretty nasty to me. So now Bird has the decision to make. Does he kill my planes? Does he kill my dogs? Or does he try to shoot at this unit that's out here in the open with only and I only have I think 2 guys that are outside of my Feel No Pains on this unit. So we'll see what Bird chooses to do. How do you feel about that first turn, Bird?
Well, I was feeling pretty good until you shot the last cannons. You kill some intercessors, can't stop the bombs. I was lucky you weren't able to turn off my aura just because the wings are so big.
Feel No Pain popped up a few times.
Yeah, I hit 3 or 4 6s. The dog shot at the grav guys. I had that 1 crate to get some 2 up, so I was able to make some saves there. 4 intercessors hurts. That hurts the effectiveness of that work unit. But still alive, still kicking. He did leave me 2 planes, so the choice that he made was to push the planes up Codex Warfare, I got to kill guys with heavy units. He parked them right next to short range Eradicators. You make the Hellblasters slow, so he's basically said you can't shoot anything except for these planes. I do know the planes can explode. I fell for that trap many, many times, so I'm not going to stay anywhere near those planes as much as I can within this little tiny hole that I got to hide in. So we're going to try to blow planes, and that's what we're going to try to do. So I got to realize the objectives are an issue. So either I concede 15 points, maybe 10 points on this first turn if I can kill off this dog unit, or really try to push up on the center and try to deny some primary. So it's going to be interesting. I got some work ahead of me. All right, end of turn 1. A lot of hemming and hawing. I spent a little bit more time than I really needed to. I forgot that he couldn't come into my deployment zone, so I was really trying to zone out his Electro Priest.
I was thinking that.
Yeah, we were spending.
I thought it was like Dawn of War deployment.
Yeah.
I don't know. Because you don't normally play this mission.
Yeah, so what I did was I really tried to focus fire. It was hard because I couldn't just shoot willy-nilly. I had to really like plan out shots so that I could wound it, but then leave stuff to get killed by heavies. So it's a successful. I killed both planes. Damien was like, didn't really want to auto-explode his first plane because it was going to hurt his plane. He rolled a 6 anyways, exploded. So then he's like, I might as well explode the second one. And so then he rolled D3 damage on both. The only thing really was in range that mattered was the Hellblasters, and they took 6 wounds from 2 D3s and killed 3 Hellblasters. Really, really sad. It was like the guy that I was using to zone out. So I was really extra sad there for a moment off camera. And then we realized, oh, you can't come in anyway. So it was kind of a wasted effort. But 2 Hellblasters survived the explosions. Terrible. But we did kill both planes with heavies. And so it was good. Over here, the dogs. I had to really deploy these guys back, advancing to try to stay in the building, but also stay out of explode range, which was really a delicate needle to thread. So that left me problems. After I shot him the first volley, he pulled guys out of range, and I couldn't really double tap with many guys. So it wasn't worth spending 2 CP. The grav guys shot. He made some good saves. He only killed 4. He passed his morale. So they still can't pick up this point. I ran up here on the primary with objective secured. He doesn't have any troops there, so he's not going to be able to do that mission secondary this turn unless those guys die. But he's not going to pick up primary this turn from that point. So really only he has for primary is 2 points here and here. And then I have 2 points, so we're going to score 10. So going to the scorebook, recap turn 1. We may put up a graphic here, but if we don't, here is the turn 1 scoring. Priority target, I pick up 3 for my objective. Nobody from While We Stand died, and Codex Warfare picked up 2 because killing 2 guys with 2 heavies in the Devastator Doctrine. Damien picked up his priority target in his turn, and then he investigated the sites because I was a ninny and didn't put anybody to stop him. So now we are on to turn 2.
And Bird got him within 6, so he's able to stop me doing my little thingy, my investigate sites. So I just kind of pushed up and grabbed the objective. Then he, I wasn't, again, I don't really have that much to shoot at. I did shoot 5 guys into his Devastators with grav, and he did well on his saves. Plus his helix and stuff. It was really good. And shot a couple, I think I killed like a dude and a bit of intercessors. Did kill all of his infiltrators. It's kind of a big deal, to be honest. Like, just because it's another annoyance, right? Where he was stopping me from coming in 12 with my dudes, and now that's not there. So it's kind of good for me. Yeah, that's really all I shot at. I just kind of moved these guys up, and they shot into grav. Pretty much failed. These guys shot it. I did kill a Victrix Guard. That's pretty cool. It's rare to kill those guys. Like, yeah, so I got 1 of them out of the squad, 2-man squad. So we'll come back to Bird's turn and see how he does after this.
Welcome back, sports fans.
We're back. Let's do this turn 2, bottom, Ultramarine turn. Made some miscalculations on a rule about the dogs, the Cerberus Raiders. I was really trying to whittle the unit down so that I could charge it, force him to spend the stratagem to run away, and then I was going to charge a second unit that was important, and he couldn't use it. That's not how the rule works. It's the first time that particular unit is charged if he doesn't do it, so that defeated the whole purpose. So I fell back with this chaplain, intending to charge this unit of dogs here so that I can get my OPSEC bubble onto the center. Roboute charged in hot, killed a bunch, and he was supposed to be OPSEC taking that objective away from him. These guys were also going to charge just to give me extra bodies. But lo and behold, I left 3 guys perfect enough to kill them, and they ran away over here. Problem with that is, I charged these grav guys that were here at this corner into these dogs, which I also left alive just for this purpose. Made the charge, have the perfect amount to take the objective from him, except these 2 dogs took it away from me. So plan after plan, very carefully crafted. I thought I was super clever. All went to naught. Everyone's kind of hanging out, waiting for Electro Priest to come. These lascannons poked out. We're really trying to force his hand on having multiple targets this turn so he doesn't shoot everything at somebody important. Over here, I moved onto this objective. It's kind of like go time. Popped off some shots. Didn't really do anything. I killed 1 or 2 guys. Grav guys, before they charged, in the last bit, the grav guy shot, did 10 wounds to his guys. Right here on top of the wall. He had some guys inside Feel No Pain bubble. He took them. He took 6 ups. He took Feel No Pains. He lost 2 dudes. It was very distressing. 10 2 damage hits. He took 2 dudes. Making 6 after 5 after 6. It was yucky. So that's the end of turn 2. Let's go to the score sheet. Hopefully we'll have some graphics to put up here. The score sheet. I had 2 objectives at the start of the turn. Did I? I had 1 objective because you took me off. So I had 5 points on the primary. I scored my primary target, priority target. Codex Warfare. Since I pulled all my targets, I didn't kill anything with assault weapons. Mistakes were made. Stupid dogs did it to me again. No points this turn. Stupid dogs. Damien, at the top of his turn, picked up priority targets, and he did not get to investigate sites. Both of our Wowie stands so far are still alive. All right, so on to turn 3 for Damien. All right, here we are, the bottom of turn 3. I don't think I've played worse 40k than I have in that turn than I have in the last, I don't even know how long. I made egregious errors. I don't even know what to attribute it to. Like, I don't even know what happened. So let's just get it over with. See these guys right here? I've been worried about them all game. They didn't do anything, but they did everything to me because they screwed it all up. I went to shoot them here. I shot all these guys. Not that that was a ton of shots. I shot some of these guys here, tried to whittle them down. I saved my last 2 CP to shoot twice. Unfortunately, they made a bunch of saves, and then they made their morale. They didn't even lose a guy to morale. And then over here, there's just 2 dogs each. These guys split their fire on the first volley, all the guns at the dogs, killed 1 dog each. Rolled the worst you could possibly roll. Then I shot again, split the fire again, thinking I can't possibly roll that bad again. And guess what? Still alive. Why is that important? Because Codex Warfare says kill guys with tactical weapons. That was the last turn of tactical weapons. That's 2 points right there for Codex Warfare, 1 for each unit. This chaplain, he made the executive call. I'm going to drive 14 to right here and shoot, or I'm going to advance and get on the objective. Because those guys should be dead, and then I won't have the objective. But I really would have, because these guys would have been here. But I was worried they would get killed next turn. I wouldn't have it for the next turn. Well, what happened? He advanced. He couldn't shoot. He couldn't charge. Terrible. These guys didn't shoot their grab guns at him because they didn't want to kill them. They didn't want to kill them. Oh, it's just bad. And then, to top it all up, I'm on tilt. I'm upset. I'm like, all right, Victrix Guard, charge over here. Wait a minute. Tigurius, he's supposed to be protected by these Victrix Guard, but I forgot that this guy's actually on the bottom floor, so they're not at the edge of the corner of the building where I thought I was measuring 3 inches to. This 3 inches is not to the Victrix, it's to the Apothecary, which doesn't help. So I gotta stay back. So then I charge. I roll fantastic. Like, now they roll 9 wounds out of 10. Damien gracefully fails all his saves on the 3 guys that have 3 wounds each.
To be fair, I took it on invulnerable saves.
He had to, because it was their invulnerable save.
Oh yeah, of course.
It was -3. So he took his 6s. He failed them. He failed them all. I get 1 guy was wounded, but he made enough that didn't matter. And so now Robo didn't get this way, and that was terrible. And then I piled in and let him pile onto the objective. He was nice enough to say, "No, don't do that. I'll steal the objective from you." And then he rolled the dice, and he rolled like 1,000,006. So thankfully, I don't lose all my Victrix for that. So as bad as it could be, it could have been way worse. So the worst turn ever. I don't even know why we're playing this game. Damien is taking it from me. Let's go to turn 4. The pain continues. I got my priority target while we stand. Big goose egg on Codex Warfare. Why did you let me down? Damien is picking up his priority target on his turn. I've blanked him on while we stand, or on investigate sites. So we're still calculating while we stand. We've already kind of given him priority target. We know no one's getting back on the objective this turn. And he did pick up 10 on the primary. So we'll see what he can do for the rest of his turn 4.
Top of turn 4, I shot again. Man, my shooting has been so underwhelming this game. Like, just, I don't know, just not popping off with 5s, not really wounding, and his army's so durable. It just doesn't, I don't know, I'm just bouncing off him with shots. Anyway, but fired like all of these guys over there. I don't think I killed a dude.
Killed a guy.
Yeah, a guy. And then these guys fired into them too. Just one guy out of all of this stuff firing into that. It's crazy to me. And then, and then they charged in, just hit those guys. Guilliman just gets to stand there. And then we killed one dude in combat, which is pretty good. Not mad about that. And then over here, this is the problem that's happened.
They killed my freaking Eradicators.
And gave me priority target.
He shot and wounded, and he took my priority, so he's got both objectives, so he'll pick up 5 on priority. All right, we're here at the bottom of the Ultramarines turn 4. The hits just keep on coming. I don't know how many times I can make a mistake and just keep doing the same thing over and over again. Look who's still alive. It's the damn dog. He's still alive, and he's contesting this objective. It's great. What happened was, this guy, we're in Codex Warfare Assault Doctrine. All he has to do is kill something to get a point in combat. And this guy's sitting here ready to be killed. And I decide to not kill him. I'm going to drive over here and use my OBSEC banner to take this objective after I killed everything here with Roboute. Except Roboute swung. Swang. I spent to fall back and re-engage with that one guy so he can attack as well. And I left one guy alive. Damien made... I took 9 damage on one guy to kill him. He just hit 5 up, feel no pains, like he was going out of style. And then he kept making 6 up. So Guilliman killed him down to one guy. Everything else swung. What is this? And then I'm like, well, look, we looked it up. I have to kill him with my attacks. I can't kill him from morale. The one guy did 3 wounds to my chaplain, failed all the saves, took 3 wounds, and then promptly died to morale. So I can't even get the point for killing him because he died from morale, not from my attacks. These Hellblasters, they finally get to shoot at something. I grew a guy back. They fell out of combat from these Electro Priests, who, by the way, are still alive. We'll come back to them. One guy grew back. We shot full power at -1s because we fell out of combat. We killed 5 dudes over there. Like crazy shooting. The sergeant's overcharged. Mastercrafted.
5, 6, 7, 8. They're good.
Yeah, Electro Priests. These guys, Electro Priests. So, yeah, he failed. I'm all over the place here. Failed. Morale. After I killed the 5 guys. Lost the dude. They're still on the objective. This guy was planning to shoot. He totally forgot to shoot first, so then he couldn't see after he pulled casualties. We forgot that, or didn't notice that this guy's just standing on the objective by himself out in the open. Anyone could have shot him. And then these guys moved up. They said they forgot about us. And then I promptly killed too many and they couldn't make the charge. So nobody's on the objective. I guess they're OPSEC. Doesn't matter. Victrix Guard also charged, but they rode low, got stuck in the forest. I killed too many and they couldn't swing. So they're just like, nothing's working for us. It's just bittersweet. And then over here, the worst of the worst. I shot with all the bolters and 8 frag grenades. I forced him to take 20 saves. He lost 1 dude. I charged in, flubbed the rolls, made him take 6 saves. He lost 2 dudes. They're still alive. He has to fight me back. But that's a terrible, terrible turn. I did pick up some points. I still have a chance to pick up some Codex Warfare points, but it's not looking great for me. All right, we're going on to the last turn. Our bottom of turn 4 scores. Damien had picked up 10 on his primary. I only picked up 5. Stupid dogs. I did take back my primary target after he took it with his Electro Priest. I did lose the Eradicators during his turn, but I didn't lose any else. No Codex Warfare, because every target I charged did not die. Unterrible. He picked up his 5 here. His while he stands, he's down 1. He's down 2.
Mhm.
So it's because I killed the morale. And then he still has not investigated any sites. So at least I'm holding him on secondaries, but primaries, he's taking it from me. We're going on turn 5.
Final turn. I did what I needed to. I was able to get 10 points on my secondary, on my primary. And then I killed his chaplain. So then I took that objective. So then he wasn't able to. Well, I guess he does it at the end of his turn. So we'll see. We'll see what he does. He'll probably be able to get 10 points off of his.
Electro Priest, your dog charged in, but didn't do anything.
Yeah, Electro Priest. He killed those in combat. Whoop! Right there. They finally died. They did their job. They did their job. I'm proud of them. And they killed the Victrix Guard, and I forgot they killed the Victrix Guard too. Characters on fire. And then these guys just shot into that one lonely lascannon turd right there. They're still holding the objective. All right.
Last turn wraps up. This is the longest day of 40K we've ever had here at the studio. Might not seem that way on the video, but boy, it was a long day. Mistakes were made on both sides. I think picking that investigate sites really hurt Damien, but it did force me to commit to the center to stop it, which just basically exploded all of my plans. I was just from the
Consumed by it.
I was just it just ruined me. I think it ruined everything I was trying to do. Roboute was out of position, just having to kill things, and then it was always just a day late, dollar short on Codex Warfare. Kill a guy with the right weapon, just always fell down. This turn where I flubbed all the attacks against those 2 dogs cost me 2 points, and then charging here cost me points. Charging here, that one guy living and then dying to morale cost me points. So at the end of the day, at the bottom of this turn, I couldn't risk him staying alive to charge to try to kill with points because I needed that objective. So I shot him to death with plasma, killed them all. That's a while we stand, so I got rid of that.
Which actually you didn't need to worry about. You could have risked charging them because you still had 3 objectives.
But I couldn't kill 3 guys or 2 guys. Like I had to wound them.
Yeah.
So I mean, I needed them to be hurt, and then like I might fail the charge. Like they're on the objective. But I was going to get it, so it's probably true. But
You could have shot him maybe a little less Hellblaster.
I didn't know how many points I'd have. I shot some characters here. I could have charged that character to get another point instead of shooting in or charging
4 points.
Yeah, but I couldn't risk it. So yeah, there's opportunities, but the way my combats were going, who knows? So at the end of the day,
You did deny me.
I only picked up 2, but I denied him. Investigate sites.
You denied.
Victory's mine. You're not investigating this site.
No, sir.
But yeah, victory was really the Admech. So let's go to the tape.
Just barely. As close as it gets. Honest to goodness.
Scoring at the end helped me finally to pick up some primary.
Mm-hmm.
Damien wasn't happy about that, but I got 15. So that only put me up to 30. He maxed out the primary. 45. He was just punishing me. These guys, again, staying alive. The dogs saved him so many points for me. Codex Warfare ended up picking 3 on the last turn to give me 5 points. I can't mad, but I got 5 points there. 2 of my units for while we stand stayed alive, and I got all the priority. On Damien's turn, he picked up 14 on priority. He left his objective on the last turn to do 3 mortal wounds with a Daedalus on the chaplain.
Could have cost me the whole game.
It did. He left it, and he lost 1 point there, but
3 points.
The max he could have got 15, so he lost the 3 points on the last turn, but he didn't really need 1. I killed all his robots, Cataphrond breachers, so no points for while we stand. And investigate sites. If I had just blocked him on the first turn, he would have got 0 there. But 17 on the secondary, 45, that gives him 62. 30 on the top, and what is this? 30 on the bottom. Only gives me 60. 62 to 60. Super close game. Very agonizing. But great to play against Damien. Coming all the way back to the Hotlanta.
Right.
He's flying back tomorrow back to Idaho. We will miss him here. But if you've watched this long, appreciate it. Like, subscribe, share with your friends. We love to play Warhammer. Lots of competitive games. I don't know how competitive this one was. I think we spent so much time agonizing over not getting
I think this
killed.
is the most competitive game because we were agonizing over it. Not in a bad way. Not in a bad. We had a ton of fun. It was really fun game. There was crazy dice rolls this game. I wish we could have showed you guys the dice rolls. They were.
He made so many 5-ups to deny me points on the assault. I was like, at least I'll pick up my 5 points for Codex Warfare. No problem. Guilliman's finally going to fight. I flubbed the attacks where that one guy killed too many guys, and then Guilliman, the tale goes on and on. It's Damien. But he gets to take home the win. The grudge match goes back in his favor.
Oh, it does.
I won the last one. He won this one. Gonna go back to the drawing board, and we'll see you next time.